Guys, this is Jukeman here once again. I'm going to be talking about adoption and what I think about adoption and how adoption works and how it's affected me in my life. So we'll start when I was 2 years old. We could even go back even further when I was 2 months old, when I was still waiting to get adopted or fostered out. Fostered out first. You sort of have to bear with me because, as you all know, I've had acquired brain injury, so I can't perfectly talk as good as a normal person could, but I'll give it a go. So we're going to go back to when I was 2 months old. I was in the home waiting to be fostered out to go to a family because, as I've all told you on my blogs, my mother passed away at a young age. She was 37 of breast cancer, and she didn't want me for whatever reasons they were. They did say on my paper, so when you get fostered out and adopted, you get a book. It's a folder, and it's got all your details, where you come, where you come from, where you were born, what's your health problems if you've got any, and blah 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 in the folder. So so I want to be talking about adopted. Once you get adopted, because you stay fostered for quite a many years, and then all of a sudden you get adopted. That means, in my eyes, they own you. Even if they don't like you that much, they own you, so they can do what they want to do with you. That's the way I see adoption. I never fitted into the family, the foster family that I got adopted to as a young boy. I always felt that this is not my place, this is not my home, and these are not the brothers and sisters that I knew. They were a lot older than me. They were on different pages. They were all also fostered and adopted. I can't tell you what their stories are because I don't know their stories. All I know is they're all different. They all come from different homes, and they've all got different stories. Even when I went to primary school, kids would look at me and go, "How come your parents are so old?" I was embarrassed. I'd say, I was fostered out and adopted," and the kids wouldn't even understand what it was, but they understood that there's something. They had young parents, and I had elderly parents. They used to say to me in primary school, "Is that your grandparents?" And I'd say, "No, that's my parents." And they'd poke shit at me. They'd tease me and do all sorts of things because of the circumstances. Now, getting back to adoption, once you're fostered out for so many years and then you get adopted, once they sign on the dotted line, the government stops caring for you and they take over caring. I never got along with my adopted parents because the father, if you can call him that, was pig-headed, and it was his way or the highway, and the mother, well, she was just as bad. It was just, don't upset your father and do as you're told or you're going to cop it. And that stuff didn't sit well with me. I've had more beldings than a second-hand dartboard. I've had more advice and more abuse chucked through me as a young boy than I should have had in the first place. So that doesn't sit well with me either, because when you get older and older and older, it moulds who you are, and sometimes you fall into that trap of repeating that violence down the track. And I always say to myself, now that I've learnt, anger doesn't control me, I control my anger. That's why I say to people, in general, I used to watch The Credible Hulk, David Banner, from years ago, from 1970, The Credible Hulk, and in the movie, if you watch it carefully, before he turns green, he goes, "Don't make me mad, you wouldn't like me if I got mad." I can relate to that, even though it's just a fake TV show. I can relate to the story of the show. And it's very sad when you get fostered out and then adopted into a family, and you get there from age 2 right up until I was 16. There's always something missing in your heart. It's not the be-all, the end-all to get fostered out and adopted. I can talk about this stuff because I've been through the mills with fostering and adoption, and I went through one family, and there's a lot of people my age in their 50s and older that have actually been fostered out 3 or 4 times and adopted out 3 or 4 times. For whatever reason it was, it didn't work out. But the loneliest thing is to find out that you haven't got any other family, and that's a good kick in the guts for anyone to go through. As I said, and I'll say it again, I can talk about this stuff, and I'm hoping someone gets something out of my story. So, as I was getting older and I left that foster family, I started living on the streets, as all you people out there are aware, but I started finding out more information on my natural mother and my natural father, and I hit a dead road, a dead end. But then I found out I had half sisters and half brothers out there, and I went, wow. And that opened another book, but it didn't open the book I wanted. I wanted the book to open up and live happily ever after and have family. Well, it didn't end up like that for the Chook man, unfortunately. I've got a half sister and I've got 2 half brothers. They were kept with my natural mother. So when I mean half, I mean it's got same mother, different father. I know a lot of people say it doesn't matter if we're half, we're still family, we're still flesh and blood. That's how they roll. I look at it as half because I've got a different father than my sister and my 2 brothers, same mother. So we grow up with different personalities because we've got different genes. That's why I reckon it's important to understand half. I come from the same mother and I've got a different father. So I've got, if you can get my big picture in the end, it's half. I know there's still brothers and sisters, but they're halves in my eyes. And I hope I don't offend anyone that's out there that doesn't agree with that. I'm sorry, but that's just the way I see it. They're still flesh and blood, but I think because we're halved, we've got different fathers, same mother, that's why we didn't grow up and bond. The other 2 brothers, they've got issues. I can't go into it because it's private. I've seen them from a stone's throw away. They said, there's your half-brother over there. I've seen him. Wow. And I've seen the other one. Wow. Those 2 boys there, they're roughly around the same age as me, in their 50s. They're on different pages. I chose not to get close to them because they've got issues. And I say that respectably. I can't afford to get involved in their issues or their problems because I've got enough of my own. And my half-sister, well, we were close, but alcohol got in our way. And she went down that road and I went down a different road. I still say hello to her if I see her. How you going? And that's as far as it goes. But inside my heart, I always craved a family. I'm a family-orientated guy. I love it. Even when I see other people's families doing Christmas Day or Easter or birthdays, I stand there and go, oh, wow, that's what families do. So, yeah. So it's a good kick in the guts to have all that done to you. But I think it's made me stronger in my heart. If I had to say it any other way, it's made me stronger and accept the stuff that I've never ever have a family. Yes, I've got a good partner, and I'm so blessed and lucky to have her supporting me, but I still miss having a family. I love to say this is my mum and dad, but it didn't work out that way. And, it's like a knife goes straight into your heart. But as you grow up and as you get older, you accept what's right and what's wrong and what's happened to you in life, and you somehow get over the bridge, keep building bridges, as I say it. That's how I can't say it any other way. And it is what it is. Alright guys, that's just a Chook man babbling on about how he sees adoption. And I'm really sorry if it's affected anyone out there that's been adopted. I don't mean to come across rude, but I can only say it in my way. And I just think if, out of any of my story, it might help someone accept their fostered and adoption life. But that's how I see it, and it is what it is, and we just got to somehow chuck it over our shoulder and get on with our life. Alright guys, that's the Chook man talking about fostering and adopting, how he sees it. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you all later.